Hey, welcome to our class of Tuesday Night Beer School with me, Chad, of Chad's Beer Reviews, and
Christina.
now you've been doing this show for a while now, but I think of all the episodes we've done, this style I am like the most excited for you to try because Christina likes the kettle sours like Urban Artifact and things like that.
Yes.
But we're going old school, old-fashioned way today. So we did 28A, which is Brett beer, which you seem to like, right?
Yeah.
And Brett beer can only be Brett, not sour. And then last week we did the mixed fermentation, which is sour and may have Brett, maybe not. But there's also like pretty strict guidelines of what can and can't be in that beer.
Mm-hmm.
But with this style today, like all the rules go out the window. It's basically you can go hog wild. And I am talking about 28C Wild Specialty Beer, intended for variations of base style beer from style 28A, B, or D. Variations may include addition of one or more specialty type ingredients, aging in non-traditional wood varieties, or aging in barrels previously containing another alcohol. And it's funny, then it keeps going with the overall impression. An American wild ale with fruit, herbs, spices, or other specialty type ingredients. All right, so comments, this style is intended for fruited. Yeah. So, I mean, it's basically... this is basically telling you what it's not, you know. History: modern American craft beer interpretations of Belgian wild ales or experimentations inspired by Belgian wild ales. Characteristic ingredients: virtually any style of beer, any combination of sack, Brett, lacto, PDO, or other similar fermenters. I'll quiz you now. What's the difference between sack and Brett and lacto and PDO?
One's lactose is a bacteria,
Right.
and sac is a yeast,
Right.
and the other one's PDO,
Also bacteria.
and Brett is a yeast.
Yeah. Brett's
Okay.
the wild yeast.
Yeah.
Sack is the domesticated yeast.
Okay.
Difference between like domesticated, like Sack is our house cat, Brett is the stray cat out in the alley.
Gotcha.
It can also be a blend of styles, which is what one of these beers are. Cherries, raspberry, and peaches are more common. Other fruits can be used as well, and they even say like chili, rhubarb, pumpkin. Wood or barrel aging is very common, not required. Wood with unusual or unique flavor characteristics, or wood produced in contact with other types of alcohol is allowable. See, like anything goes in this style, basically.
But it sounds like it's supposed to be fruity. They
It
really
can
harp
be.
on the fruit.
Because one of our beers is a fruit beer, the one you have in front of you. Let me show that to the folks.
Yeah.
This is Weyerbacher Riserva.
It's kind
And
of fancy.
It's a raspberry. I think it's hard to read the label, but it says can you read that? I know it's dark in here.
I cannot, but there's a raspberry.
It says American Wild Ale with raspberry puree, age on oak barrels.
Yum.
I'm not sure the ABV on that one. But then this one is Funky Jewbelation from Schmaltz Brewing from my old stomping grounds, Clifton Park, New York. Barrel-aged sour. So this is a blend of 8 ales aged in bourbon barrels and rye whiskey barrels. They even show all the different beers that they use on the back here. This goes all the way back to 2018. I'm not sure the age on your bottle, but it probably is 2018 as well, or somewhere around there.
Yeah, maybe.
And yeah, so I'm really excited about this one. And we're shooting this in the middle of the afternoon, so we got the rest of the day to enjoy these.
These huge beers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so we're getting these in the glass, and we'll be right back. All right, we are back. We got our beers poured. I got the Jewbelation right here, and Chris has the Riserva. Matches the bottle.
Yeah.
All right, so which one do you want to start with?
The Jewbelation.
Okay, let's give this thing a whiff. Even though this bottle is, 6 years old?
Wow.
It doesn't smell old at all, does it?
No, it doesn't smell musty or anything.
I know. It doesn't smell like oxidation either.
No.
To me, this is like it's super fruity. Like, this is like black currants.
Yeah, I don't know about black currants. I was going to say raisins. Probably very similar.
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah, dried fruits. But also just like kind of a big maltiness on this one.
Definitely maltiness.
Yeah. I can tell that it's sour off the nose.
Yeah.
And I get like a sweetness. Like, do you get? Because this is bourbon barrel aged, so are you get like? And you've had many bourbon barrel beers by now, so does it have that quality to it?
I think it does. Yeah.
Like
it's
in a
it's there. It's not very prominent like some of the beers have been, but
Yeah.
it's there.
I would say it does have a bourbon kind of smell to it. It's not really woody, though.
No.
All right, let's give the I almost said Microsoft. The Weyerbacher. Okay. Now this one kind of smells like one of Brett's beers.
Yeah, it's with a little bit of, I kind of get like a white or apple cider vinegar smell.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. I get raspberry puree,
Do you?
and I get like the sourness, and I get like maybe like a little woodiness, but I'm not getting like cider quality, which is usually not a good sign.
Yeah. And again, this doesn't smell old.
I think what you're getting as cider to me is just kind of like the fruity character.
Yeah, it kind of has, I don't know, a wine vinegar smell to it for me.
I agree. Yeah. Yeah, like acetate or acetic acid. Like it's not as vinegary as like the Duchess.
No, for sure.
All right, so let's
different too.
Let's check the specs for this style. Variable by base style. The specialty type ingredients should be evident. That was true for both of them, as well as the defining characteristics of wild fermentation per the base style. I would say that's true for both of them.
Yeah.
Best examples will blend the aromatics from the fermentation with the special ingredients, creating an aroma that may be difficult to attribute precisely. I mean, I would say in the case of both these beers, they nailed it. To me, the Funky Jewbelation is just like more, although like it doesn't have the fruit in it, but it has like, you know, I can tell that like it's a blend of like, you know, freaking 8 beers here, and also like the bourbon barrel character on it. Mm-hmm. So for me, this one, the Funky Jubilation, is at least a 10. I could probably even go higher on it.
I'll give it a perfect 12.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
That's really judging on a scale since this beer is 6 years old.
Mm-hmm.
The Riserva, pretty nice. It's a little simpler because it's like just, you know, raspberry. It's not like a blend of beers like this one, and it's not, that one's not bourbon barrel aged, it's just oak aged.
Right.
So, but it does still. I'm gonna give that one a 10 too. In fact, maybe I'll bump the Hebrew up to an 11.
I'll do an 11 on the Riserva.
Okay. Appearance, I mean,
quite different.
Yeah, but they're totally different styles. Like everything goes out the window, and also it's like you're kind of judging on the base style here. The schmaltz, it may look black on camera. It's actually kind of a deep mahogany, and it's both these beers are cloudy, which that's to be expected because these bottles are just so old.
Yeah, I don't know if you can really tell like how amber this actually is.
Yeah, it looks amber. Yeah, and on camera it looks more like ruby or something. But
I was expecting, I don't know, red.
Yeah.
Pink.
In the daylight, yeah, that would be like pink, or kind of like a magenta or something.
Rose gold.
Yeah, like a rose color. But when we poured this, the schmaltz did actually both formed heads. The schmaltz hung around for a few seconds longer.
Yeah, definitely.
So, all right, let's check the specs on appearance. Variable by base style, generally showing a color, tint, or hue from the specialty type ingredient, especially if fruit is used, in both the beer and the head. Clarity can be variable. Some haze is not a fault. Head retention is often poor. All right, so
I mean,
yeah,
as different as they are, they both fall under all that.
Yeah. I mean, poor head retention is pretty normal with sours because like they're so acidic. It's just a natural head killer.
Head killer.
Yeah. I'm gonna give both of these 3 out of 3. What do you think?
Yep, 3 out of 3 for
3
both.
out of 3 for both.
They meet it.
Okay. All right, here comes the best part. Which one do you want to start with?
Jubilation.
Okay.
Stoked. Cheers.
Laham. I forget how they say it.
I have no idea.
Laham. It says lacham.
Tell us
I don't
in the
speak
comments.
Hebrew. Sorry.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow, that's so sour.
It's sour, but it's also like so complex.
Wow.
And I don't mean this like in a bad way. I was gonna say like think of like how complex this is compared to like one of Brett's beers.
Yeah.
Because this is a blend of 8 other beers. So it's like black IPA and like Belgian and other crazy, you know. And it's funny because like it's a blend of beers which themselves are not really to style anyway. Mm-hmm. So what flavors are you getting on this one?
So beyond the sour, there's some sort of dark fruit there. Um, could be dates, could be raisin. I don't know, something there.
I would agree with that. Yeah, it's kind of like a dried fruit flavor. In fact, it is like it does kind of like a Belgian strong dark ale kind of thing to it. Like like the Chimay Blue that we did. Like if Chimay Blue was sour.
Yeah, there's some spice there. Is it clove? Do you think? Do you get that? It's
A spiciness? Mm-hmm. That could be from the alcohol. It could be from the wood. It could
oh
remember
yeah.
when we did the Whiskey Wednesday, like you tend to get like a spice just off the combination of the wood and the strong alcohol.
It's from the bourbon barrel. Gotcha.
Yeah. By the way, this one's 9% ABV. I'm not sure what that one is. I think it's like 6 or 7. Put a note right there what it is.
I feel like 9 is low for this. I thought it would be stronger.
Yeah. I mean, to me, this is strong enough for me.
Yeah, because it does have a bit of a burn in the throat.
Yeah. Well, you know what? That's probably not from the alcohol. It's probably from the acidity. Like when we did the Brett beer.
Yeah,
Because that one had a burn too, and that was like, what, 6% or something?
that's true. Yeah.
It's just a highly acidic beer. Kind of like what I said on the nose. Like, to me, this is very black currant-y. Mm-hmm. Like a sour black grape. And I can taste the bourbon on here too. It has like that sweet, almost vanilla kind of character to it.
Yeah. Whew, that's so sour.
Yeah, I would say this is definitely one of the more sour beers that I've had.
Yeah.
But it's still very approachable. Like it's not like compare this to like the Duchess, which you didn't really like.
Mm-hmm.
This does not have nail polisher. It does not have vinegar or anything like that.
Yeah, there's nothing off-putting in there. It's just yeah,
Intense.
very like moisture sucking kind of sour. I'd say intense
Yeah.
is the word. Yeah.
All right, so let's move on to the Weyerbacher. Cheers.
Ooh.
I think that one's pretty sour too.
That's so sour.
Yeah, I get a.
We had different reactions. Like, you were like, ooh.
Well, I think this one has lost something though. Yeah, so I mean, like compare this to like one of Brett's beers, whereas like you can actually like taste like that jammy, fruit puree
Yeah.
kind of quality to it, and like this is made like was made with that puree, but years ago. So it's kind of lost that jammy kind of quality, and like now it's more like it's like a very like acidic. I mean, to me, it still does taste like raspberry.
Yeah. I don't get the raspberry at all. To me, this tastes like cooking wine.
Not to me. Wow. I see. That's the difference between different people's palates, and also why beer should be judged by at least 2 people. Because like you're picking up on something that I'm not picking up on, and I'm picking up something that you're not picking up on.
Right.
So I mean, I think you're just like way more sensitive to probably acetic acid, which is like vinegar or vinaigrette kind of thing.
Yeah, that's probably true.
I definitely get the barrel or woody quality on this one,
It's definitely there. Yeah.
and it's kind of the difference between, just bourbon or just barrel and bourbon barrel.
Yeah.
Because like I can taste wood on the Weyerbacher, but the Funky Jubilation is more like actual bourbon.
Yeah. Just comparing them, I mean, the Funky Jubilation, definitely lower acidity.
Which one do you think is more sour?
The Riserva.
It might sound weird, but I think the Funky Jubilation is actually more sour, and the Reserva is like more tart and acidic. I mean, they're both very acidic.
Yeah. And that just might be something I'm not able to really differentiate at this point. I don't know. But
Okay. All right, we've been rambling about these beers for a while. Let's check the specs. Variable by base style. The special step ingredients should be evident, as well as the defining characteristics of wild fermentation per the base style. If fruit was fermented, the sweetness is generally gone, so that only the fruit esters typically remain. I would say it's true. Fruit and other special step ingredients can add sourness of their own. If so, the sourness could be prominent, but should not be overwhelming. The acidity and tannin from any fruit or other special ingredient can both enhance the dryness of the beer, so care must be taken with the balance. The acidity should enhance the perception of any fruit flavor, not detract from it. Wood notes, if present, add flavor, but should be balanced. Okay, so there's a lot to break down there. The defining characteristics, while the specialty type ingredients should be evident. Yeah, I would say that's true of both beers. As well as the defining characteristics of, yeah, so if fruit was fermented, the sweetness of, yeah, I mean, I would definitely say that one is not sweet. To me, and like, not that raspberry really is sweet to begin with. Like, that's a very tart fruit.
Yeah.
Even in puree form. And like, well, I mean, like, maybe like in raspberry jelly or something, you would have like some actual added sugars there.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't really think that the fruit on the Reserva is adding sourness. Maybe it did when it was fresh off the bottling line, or when it was fresh. But after like sitting on the shelves of Kenny's grocery for how many decades? Probably not decades, but how many presidential administrations?
At least 3.
All right, so moment of truth. How are we going to score these? For me, the Funky Jewbelation is... I just had this like a year ago, right before I met you. And I loved it back then, and I'm actually loving this bottle right now. I am so surprised it's held up after 6 years. I don't think it's a perfect 20, but grading on a curve here, this is, to me, this is at least an 18. What are you
I was
thinking?
going to do an 18 as well.
Okay. The Reserva, also, for me, I actually like the taste of it. I know you don't. And on top of that, it's also living up to the guidelines pretty well. So I'm going to go a little high on this one. I'm going to go 17. What do you think?
But see, the acidity should not detract from the overall flavor. I keep getting hung up on that. And for me, it's so hard to get past that. I'm going to ding this one and give it a 15.
Okay. I can see that. I think that's fair.
Yeah.
I think that's totally fair. But again, different perceptions, different palates, different genetics. All right, you know what? I gotta top mine off here. Yeah, because I mean, people perceive like you don't like cilantro because it tastes like soap to you, but not to me.
Right.
So
disgusting.
All right, so mouthfeel. We'll start with the Funky Jewbelation.
I say it's like a medium full. It's pretty full.
It's weird. It messes with your head because it's sour. Like anything sour, you just can't associate with like a big, thick body. But it's also and also acidity like gives it a crisp texture.
Right.
So like you think crisp, you think light, and also this is what was this 9 something ABV?
It was 9.
Yeah, and also I don't really get like alcohol on this one. Like compare this to like Bourbon County. Like Bourbon County, that's like fudge compared to this. As far as like the texture. So as far for me for mouthfeel for the Jewbelation, I'd probably put it. I think it's like almost medium light, but also
light.
I'd probably say like moderately high carbonation. I think maybe it's the high carbonation that it's making me think that it's lighter than it actually is.
Yeah, I think it's like pretty medium. I would say medium full.
What about texture? Crisp, creamy.
It's not creamy. It's definitely more crisp.
Yeah. And for the Reserva, this one, I would say the Reserva is definitely lighter.
Yeah.
Than the Funky Jewbelation.
Yes.
I wouldn't say it's light straight up, but yeah. So, I mean, if I'm going to say okay. So, what did you say for body for Jewbelation? Medium full.
Yep.
Okay, I'll agree with you on that. And I would say the Reserva is probably like medium, maybe even medium light.
Medium light. And
I think they both have about the same amount of carbonation. Mm-hmm. Yeah, probably about moderately high.
Yeah, they're equal there.
For me, as Bill Burr would say, the Reserva for me is still really drinkable. I don't know if I would go as far as say refreshing, but outside in July, I think this would be. Yeah.
I don't think so.
You're not a fan?
Not a fan.
All right, well.
In any season.
Let's see what the specs say for mouthfeel. Variable by base style. Generally has a light body. Lighter than what we expect from the base style. That's basically what I just said. Generally moderate to high carbonation. Carbonation should balance the base style if one is declared. The presence of tannin from fruit or wood can provide a slight astringency, enhance the body, or make the beer seem drier than it is. I think you're probably getting a lot of tannins out of the Reserva.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's not so much like vinegary as it is tannic. Like think of like red wine or something like that.
Yeah.
I think you're just like more sensitive to tannins than I am.
I actually have a tannin allergy. So.
Yeah,
there we go.
But to me, both beers are hitting on all cylinders, banging on all cylinders as far as those specs.
Yeah, they're matched.
For me, even after all these years, for me, perfect 5.
Perfect 5 as well.
For both?
For both.
Okay, that's what I was going to say. Overall, I'm continuing to be impressed by the Funky Jewbelation year after year. I'm gonna go back to Kenny's and just buy whatever he has left of this. This is amazing. I'm gonna go 9. It's not perfect. If it was fresh, I think it'd be perfect.
Yeah, my average for this one is a 9.
Okay. Total score 40. Ah, you actually liked it more than I did. In fact, I could bump this up. In fact, I will bump this up to an 11, and I think that's about it.
All right.
I could probably go, if I had to, I could probably even bump that to a 19 on flavor. I think that's fair. Otherwise, 46, 47, we're like right there.
Mm-hmm.
Reserva, for me, I like it more than you do, but I like it less than the Funky Jewbelation. I think the bottle has just like the way the beer is brewed compared to the Funky Jubilation, because this has fruit and there's a lot of different variables here. But to me, this is still really good. I'm gonna go 8.
I mean, I dinged it on flavor just because of acidity, but overall, I think it did very well. My average score is an 8.
Okay. I would say if you find either of these in beer stores or beer museums, especially if you're here in Florida, pick these up. And I got this. This was $7.99. That was $5.99, and I think these are great deals. So I don't know about Chris, but I'm gonna have no trouble finishing the rest of these tonight.
Yeah, you can have all of this one.
Okay.
I'll have all of the Jewbelation.
I kind of want all this to myself.
No.
And by the way, the only reason that we're doing these old bottles is because this is all I could get around me without paying an arm and a leg or through the nose, like on Tavor or like something from the brewery or something like that. But
yeah.
So these are little gold mines sitting in your beer store right now if you can find them. So pick them up. All right. So thanks to Chris for coming over, and we will see you next week. Cheers.
Somebody brewed it. Chad just reviewed it. Thanks for watching Chad's Beer Reviews. Trust me, the next episode will be a lot better.